Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2. The work with Gauthier today, and he went too far in the car when he was just 12 years old. This grown man going back to 12 years old, and look at what he was thinking and believing just before his father stopped the car. They're traveling. He stopped the car and put Gauthier out on the pavement or the dirt and drove away. And what was Gauthier thinking and believing as that 12-year-old boy as his family drove away without him? This is powerful, and welcome to the work. Welcome to self-inquiry. Let's move into part 2. To be happy, you need him to admit he did something wrong. Is it true?
No.
Let's turn it around. For me to be happy, I need to admit to him that I did something wrong in the back seat of the car after his warnings and apologize for the resentment that I've held on him all those years. Like, he's guilty, I'm innocent. No, I was warned. And also, I didn't respect his need for, the absence of noise.
Mhm. Well, I cannot see that in that situation. I cannot see that it's true because I was 12 years old and I don't feel like I had the tools to say I'm sorry.
See, that's absolutely so, but you're no longer 12 years old. Is he still alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Today right now I can see it's true. So
And you can let him know that as well.
if he remembers this.
That's just fascinating. What kind of dad doesn't hold that against his son? That's a pretty cool dad. That's a pretty forgiving dad.
Yeah, so sometimes I already try to talk when he is in a good mood or something. We already try to talk about things that happened, and sometimes he just doesn't remember.
Yeah, he's trying to survive raising children. He's a strong dad. I need me to admit to myself that I did something wrong to my father intentionally. You see how you're educating that little 12-year-old? He knew at the time. See how you're educating that 12-year-old to take a look at what that little 12-year-old was denying?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Never too late to wake up the 12-year-old.
Mm. Yeah, and also that I how do you say that? I kept remembering this thing and using this against him. So, like I said, I have this file about him. So I did also something wrong after by keeping resentment towards him.
Yeah, he punished you for what? 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes out on the
Yeah,
road. And you've been punishing him all your
my whole
12-year-old and beyond,
yeah,
and even earlier.
yes,
So you're accusing him of what you are guilty of yourself. And innocent, your ego justifies all of it. What I love about self-inquiry, it wakes us up. And the ego has no job eventually. It has nothing to protect us from because we're awake to ourselves. And by nature, we do no harm. By nature, even though others could perceive our lives as harmful in some way, you're living, or I can say, I'm living what I myself consider kind. That's just by nature, without saying this is kindness, it's not. I can do that. But just by nature, that the work has gotten out all of the garbage, as far as I know. And it just leaves me like this 12-year-old little boy that you were, awake. We're seeing what that little guy saw also, that the ego has just, even though you saw it, it makes sure you can't see it. It's just dad, dad, dad.
Mhm.
Let's look at 5 in that situation.
My father is a madman. He is insane. He is dangerous, and he is brutal.
In that situation, he's putting you out on the road. He is dangerous. Is it true? Oh
He's,
my God.
he's not dangerous. First of all, because he's waiting, and he's not really leaving me, and he's trying to teach me a lesson. So, and yeah, that's the way to teach me a lesson at that age. I can see now, and
I mean, he had no other recourse other than to just, to what? Hit you or something.
yeah, it's true, there was not so many options to make me stop. Actually,
Yeah. He tried everything before he put you out on the road.
Mm.
It's not
and I
as though
think,
he didn't give you fair warning that there
and
were
I think,
consequences.
and I think that even my mother said, "Come on, guys, she would always say that because this is not a unusual situation. That's happened other times also in the car. So she would say, "Come on, guys, stop it." She would be the communication, the voice of the communication. So she would warn us also.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, warn us that your dad is an honest man. When he says be quiet, or there's consequences. Oh, honey. He's a madman. He's insane. Turned around in that situation, my little 12-year-old head was,
but maybe also I see that I'm dangerous in a way that I played with fire with him. So
well,
I'm dangerous. And I can see that also in other parts of my life. I can see sometimes I do not measure the risk always very well.
yeah,
So I don't do it on purpose, but I often after I see, oh my God, I took a big risk.
yeah. Yeah, and also when you're pushing someone, expect anything.
Mhm.
Like you knew there'd be repercussions from your dad, but you didn't know he'd put you out on the road, maybe.
No, I
Consequences.
didn't. Yes.
We don't know what they're going to be. So he's insane. Turned around. I'm insane in the back seat, knowing there's going to be consequences. Just how far are we pushing him? I'm insane to push my father, who becomes violent.
Yeah, and then blaming him afterwards.
Yeah, punishing him, and then wondering why he acts so insane.
Yeah,
There's no way, no path to you for him.
I'm insane because I'm not ready to take any responsibility or any consequences. That's a bit insane.
Yeah, not willing to take responsibility for you, which are the cause, and your dad's the effect.
Yeah.
That situation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm insane also to replay this story many times in my life and using it to be the victim and to put the blame on him. To, so yeah, that's also very insane
yeah.
because it happened only these, yeah, I don't know how long it was, but not not so long.
Yeah, with a mind like yours, when we look at what you were thinking and believing, when you look at that, a mind like yours, there's no way into you for your dad. There just isn't.
There was no way into my dad.
Way. There's no way. There's no way to get through to you available to your dad. There's just no way to get
Mhm.
into his good graces, because you're
Mm.
just holding these grudges against him
I
without
am.
taking and then punishing, and then on our deathbed, our last words are, "It's all his fault." But it doesn't have to be that. We can in a situation like that, we can just rest in peace. That's what this work gives us: peace of mind, which is peace for me is a word for intelligence, understanding. And as we sit in this work, a kind of um, self love, to be so open and honest as I experience you to be, honey. Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to take responsibility for. It's like someone could beat me for 1,000 years and be cruel to me for 1,000 years, and I do one little thing. That's that's self-inflicted. Other people can afford it. I can't. Why is it that I can't? I know the difference between suffering and peace and the way to it. And I love you're a teacher today, one of our teachers that show us all, no matter what, we can find our way out. No matter how old we are or young we are, we can find our way out. He's a madman. Is it true?
In some way, he is, but he is also a mad teacher, a strong teacher. Yeah, by teaching me a lesson. Yeah.
So, in that situation, he is a madman. Turn it around. In that situation, he is.
Um, yeah, he's a uh, kind father. He's a kind teacher. Yeah,
I have one. Would you like to hear it?
sure.
He's a madman. Turn around. He's doing his best, considering that you are beyond. Um, there's no way for him to get to you.
Mhm.
No way to deal with you in the back seat. You just keep pushing, no matter what he says or asks for. Turned around. He's a madman. Turned around. I'm a mad young boy, 12 years old, and really into winning and losing. It's like your attempt to be the head of the family. You're the boss. He's the student. You're the winner. He's the loser. That kind of the ego is a strong competitor. It competes with life to appear as life, and it can never win the trip. Ego is a state of mind, not body. And we're sure looking at that. He's brutal. Is it true?
Brutal. Um, yeah, in some way he's brutal, but like again, it's a bit the same. He's
So
teaching me.
be specific in that situation. He's brutal. Where was he brutal?
Well, his reaction was a bit. Yeah, it's not something you would.
Did he warn you?
Yeah, he did, but
Hmm?
still, it's brutal.
Well, let's just look at it. I'm sure you're right. And let's look again. He's brutal. He told you. He's brutal.
Yeah, okay.
Turned around in that situation, I am.
I am brutal with him, definitely.
So be
Uh,
there, be there, witness it. You're brutal. He's asking in every way he can for something you already knew about him.
yeah, it's true.
He's brutal. Turned around, I'm brutal. Boy, I just grabbed my sister and we're going everything he said he doesn't want. Noise.
And it's also true that, yeah, for in other situations when we're also in the car and with my sister, sometimes we're also playing these games, and sometimes it doesn't go well and we are really fighting. So it's really brutal. We're really hurting each other, pulling
Yeah.
each other's hair. So it gets, yeah, we were very brutal. We
Yeah.
had really serious fights.
I love your mind goes to that, just notice that.
Hmm.
Yeah. What your father's dealing with and your mother. Yeah,
And somehow,
you were going for it. Yeah, brutal. Wow. So you were trying to win with your father and win with your sister. You're one competitive guy. There's got to be another way, and there is. Oh, um, he's dangerous. Turned around in that situation, I am.
I am dangerous.
Yeah, you're putting your welfare at risk with that father.
Hmm.
He didn't put you in that situation. He like raised a red flag and you went beyond it. And you know him at 12. He's brutal, turned around in that situation. I am
I am brutal. I'm dangerous. I'm dangerous.
dangerous and brutal. So he's a madman. Let's turn it around again. He's a sane man. It doesn't mean he is. Just try it on. All of you new to the work, we're just trying these on. This is an exercise in stillness from start to finish, even though we're talking through it. We're coming out of those images we call remembering, those images of past, future, and seeing now what we saw then that we were blind to then because the ego was at work.
Yeah, he is sane because he knows that what he's doing will make it stop. So it's it's sane.
It's like I can see him asking your mother, "Are you sure we have to let him in? Can we call a relative to come pick him up or something?" Oh, honey, I'm exaggerating. I just can't help it sometimes.
And I can also see that, for example, in the past, when we had this kind of situation, and yeah, my mother would also get involved sometimes, and she would start pinching. She would go with her hand, so we would see this hand coming, and we would all try to put the other one. So it would not be me, but my sister, and she would pinch. But he knew that this would not. We would still keep fighting, and this was not enough actually. So he knew that he had to do something more.
Yeah, yeah. So you pushed him. Your mother tried to take care of it, and then he just had to step in because it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, in that situation, he's a madman turned around. I'm a mad 12-year-old.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't take him seriously. I knew how he would react. Yeah, how he could react, and yeah.
Yeah, madman. You were a mad 12-year-old. You were pushing your dad.
Mhm.
Yeah. the ego loves it. Then when it's judgments against your dad are so valid, it's been going on, you know, like your lifetime with him.
Mm.
So he's insane. He is sane. So in that situation, he is sane. Try it on.
Yeah, he used the language that is the best to get to me and to make me understand something. But otherwise, I would not understand.
Wow. See, that's something you can thank him for. Dad, your communication is really clear. And the way you see me, there's so many times I can see that you saw me when I couldn't even see me. You pointed it out and I rebelled. And I'm sincerely sorry for that. The next time you see me doing that or being competitive, please, point it out to me. But boy, I wouldn't say that last one, sweetie, until you really mean it. Because those people, those perceived enemies, they see us more clearly than we see us. They're great teachers in our life. They can be. So he was brutal, turned around in that situation.
I am brutal.
And egging your sister on.
Yeah, actually, I'm also taking a risk with my sister because it went well. It was a good game, but it could have been gone wrong, and then we would be fighting and hurting each other. And then one of us would be start crying, and then the whole story would start. So I'm brutal with my
Yeah.
what could happen with my sister and with my father, and I'm brutal with myself by scaring myself when I'm on the highway
Yeah.
and still using it today. That's
Yeah.
very brutal.
Yeah.
And it's also brutal towards him because I'm still using it against him. Although I know he's doing his best to try to improve our relationship. Um,
I think you've just taken from where I'm sitting, you've just taken a giant leap into how to begin communication with him and begin to bring things to mind where you were brutal toward him or felt unkind toward him, admit it, apologize, and start over. Thank him for his patience with me, with you. And all these words, you don't have to use mine, they'll all come to you. It's all here in the worksheet. All these, when we question the thoughts on our worksheet, we turn them around. They make sense to us because we're anchored specifically. And there are some people who just fill in a worksheet, just turn it around, and they can't see what you've given us today because they've skipped steps. They've skipped 4 of those questions, which is what the work is. So judge your parents, write it down, ask 4 questions, and turn it around. This clean work you've done today. And
thank you.
it's from where I sit, just so powerful. It's something that, I put my oldest son out on the highway because he would not stop poking his brother and sister. He was the oldest. And at some point, I said, honey, I think you need to get out and get some fresh air. And I'm going to put you out of the car if you don't, and I'm going to leave you and wait for you. Maybe a run will help you stop torturing your brother and sister. And he just kept on and kept on, and I put him out on the road, and he'd get close to the car, and I'd pull it up again. That poor dude. So you can see, I don't think I've ever worked with any of you that I can't find something like that in my life, in my mothering. It's just, oh my God, brutal. And I don't even think he held a grudge or even remembers, but he's going to be home for Thanksgiving. And I'm going to ask him and thank you for that. And I'll be able to apologize and just tell him I was just too insane to understand how to listen, how to just stop and listen and understand. And he's now the kids are taking care of me, and so they could well put me out on the road sometime. But like your little 12-year-old, I'd enjoy the sky and the smells and the traffic and the trees if they're there. And there's a whole world to discover there. If they never, if you never come back for me, there's a whole world to understand from where I am. And I love that so much.
Mm.
Okay, so my thoughts about my dad were mad, insane, dangerous, and brutal as as a 12-year-old left out on the highway. And my thoughts about myself are mad, insane, dangerous, and brutal. And those of you, what thoughts? What thoughts? Oh, the ones on the worksheet. Those thoughts are the cause of our suffering. 1 through 6 on that Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. Sweetie, let's look at 6. Oh,
I
wait, let's look back at your dad. He's a madman. What is the opposite of a madman? A patient man?
Yeah, why not?
My dad is patient in that situation. Try it
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I think we've been making a lot of noise since some time, so it's not that we're just doing just 10 seconds. No, I think it had been going on for some time. So he was patient to some time, and then it became too much, and then he started breaking, and
Yeah.
then we continued, and then he did what he did.
My dad was insane when he put me on the side of the road. Turned around, my dad was sane. Just try it on. Those of you new to the work, it doesn't mean it's true. We just try it on. These turnarounds, we try them on. My dad is sane in that situation. All of you, I don't call this the work for nothing. It's like, oh no, but he put me out on the road. Okay, okay. Yes, he did. My dad is sane. Meditate in that situation.
Yeah, I think he's saying in a way also that he's doing what he thinks is right in that moment, what will help him, and I don't think he has much choice because it's also very impulsive. So in that sense, it's quite sane to follow up.
Yeah, yeah. Dad is sane. You've said on occasion he's been violent, and he
Mm.
wasn't violent. He
Mm.
was saner than that. He found another way, knowing that he'd pick you up and it'd just give you a good run.
Yeah, I think. And a good lesson. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad is insane. My dad is sane. It kept him from being physical with you. He found a way to stop him from making matters worse by being physical or any more verbally abusive.
Yeah, it's true. He didn't say much. He just pulled me out of the car, and he didn't hit me. He didn't. Yeah, his method was more like being very silent in what he's doing. Okay, there are a lot of stories I still have to work on, I guess, but yeah, his way was often like yeah, either being very angry and being very a lot of angry words, but also sometimes just not saying anything. And
Yeah, yeah. And and as you're talking, as I recall with my oldest son, he said he wanted to get out of the car. that was a piece of it. And I said, okay, if that's what you want, like your dad. Okay, if that's, oh gosh, you got something to share with your dad, and I certainly have something to share with my son. Oh boy, good old Thanksgiving. Okay, so he's brutal. Is it true? Turned around. He's he's kind. He's not brutal.
Mhm.
Okay, he's taking you out of the car, helping you out of the car. He's driving away. He's brutal, turned around. He's fair. What's the opposite of brutal for you in that situation?
Yeah, he's sweet. Can you say that? Sweet?
Oh, sure. Wow, that's a big deal to share with him. Dad, you weren't loud or violent or anything. You just put me out on the road, gave me a little walk, picked me up, and I've discovered a lot through that.
Mhm.
Really grateful. You could have been brutal, angry.
Mhm.
You you found another way, and it means a lot to me. It taught me a lot.
Mhm.
The ego, when you start sharing these things where you're taking self-responsibility in this situation like with your father, the ego, it'll do things like he'll take advantage of me now. He'll tell everyone. He gets to be right. I mean, the ego will throw these things at just thank it for sharing and just keep alive what you've discovered. And the most intimate way to do that is with the people on our worksheet. The perceived enemy is always a friend in my world. Doesn't always mean I want to be close with them or remain friends with them like that, but but I always care and I'm always connected and grateful. That's the connector. Let's look at 6.
I never again want to be brutalized.
I'm willing to,
I'm willing to be again brutalized.
and I look forward to.
I look forward to being brutalized again.
By my dad, yeah,
I'm with that.
yeah, because this worksheet is there's a lot of information here. If your dad is ever brutal, it could be that he's looking back in the past of you at like 12 years old. And we don't know what he may be holding in his head. The ego, we have no idea what's running in his head. But I'm awake to my part. And that is valid for me to share. No one else's, just mine.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's not something everyone may want to hear, like your dad, but it could be from where I sit. It's magical what you have to share with him and apologize for. Just your part. It's like someone could brutalize me 100%, and it's just if I do that one little thing, that's my pain, not what they thought, said, or did, but what I thought, what I was thinking, saying, or doing. That is the cause of my suffering. And you've certainly beautifully mirrored that for all of us. And
But thank you so much. It's really such a gift to do this work with you.
thank you, honey. And what a dad you've got. Oh my goodness. What a dad. Okay, so let's let's see what let's whose hand is raised? What are your takeaways? Vered.
Hi, Katie.
Hi,
Uh,
Vered.
I, you invited us to do the work alongside Gauthier,
Mm-hmm.
and I did. And it was really interesting. What came up was an accident with my mother. My mother was a concentration camp survivor,
Mm-hmm.
and she would get this rage explosions.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, and
Trauma, trauma, trauma. Oh, like the images of that little boy out on the road. Just imagine the images in your mother's head, sweetie. Oh my goodness. That trance, it's hell. We escape
yeah,
hell, but we take hell with us. The ego is the
exactly.
carrier, both ways, both places.
I think it's some kind of assimilating the violence, like violence becomes part of you. Like when you live in such a violent environment as a young, she was 16. I think it's like you kind of absorb it and release it. There's something there. It's like,
Yeah.
so she had those attacks, and one of them was, I was young, I don't remember what age.
They're
What I
panic.
remember,
Would you say they're panic attacks?
no, no, rage,
Just rage.
rage, like, rage,
Uh,
violent rage, and what I remember is her running after me with a chair. She wanted to hit me with the chair, and me running to the bathroom and, closing the door, and her banging with the chair on the door.
yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
what was for me interesting to look at and listening to Gauthier was, like, he had this opportunity to first understand what happened before, and then to have this whole scenario in his head, like I'm abandoned, I'm like,
Okay, so Vera, go to the place where your mother is banging on the bathroom door and you're in there locked in, trying to save yourself. Okay, now go back just prior to her attack. What is that situation?
exactly. What is interesting for me is that there was immediate danger, and I was running from danger. And then I thought the mind was, there was no thinking. There was like action, And this is like what is interesting for me, that
Well, the ego stops and you run.
exactly, exactly. And this is and I didn't came out from the experience as a victim. This is also interesting. It's like because there is this
You
life.
saw an image of the bathroom and
Right.
a way to lock it, and you ran. I mean, it was there. It's and you made it.
Exactly. And
And
it's
then
I think
your mom, just meditate in it, and just before she had the anger attack or the fearful attack or the attack, notice, is it how many people were in the room? Was there anyone there other than the two of you? What did you say or do? Just get still, maybe nothing. But if you get really still, there may be something there.
yeah, because I remember it. You see, it's like it's there. So if it's there, then yeah. But I think it's interesting like how the ego works. I think when there is like a real danger, I don't think it has time to start playing. You know what I mean? It's like I think
If
that this is what
the
happened.
ego stops, it can't project a future.
Exactly.
That's like terror. So, absolutely correct in that. That 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 is
Yeah.
it's 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 yeah.
Yeah, and also like they speak about trauma and they say that if the danger is real and you act, then something is released there, and then the trauma. There is a whole theory around this whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of theories. And I trust sitting in self-inquiry beyond theory. I am the authority, the only one that knows my life and the way I've gotten through it in any given situation. If I get still enough, I can identify what I was thinking and believing in that situation and question it, and that trauma releases. And beyond theory, there's no theory there. It requires a very open mind and, a fearless state of mind because
Yeah,
it's the death of the ego and it
yeah.
understands that. But there's something more powerful than ego, and that is what is true. In other words, reality. Thank you, Vered. Karen?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I so appreciate sitting in his work. It took me to age 6 when my mother took me to a hospital because of a very severe stage of appendicitis. I had to stay 3 weeks and they couldn't come visit. So
Mm,
when the image was born, I'm bad, she wants to get rid of me, uh, there's something wrong with me. That turned, the ego turned it even, it's not just on her, on myself, was putting myself in dangerous situations, crazy situations. And it's just grace that this form is still here. So I got very much in touch with that, how that first belief was created when I
oh,
was 6. It was
sweet.
amazing. I'm grateful, so grateful for knowing that. I've seen it before, but it's always very good to see it again and again and again because it still acts sometimes as me.
Yeah, it can still affect you.
Yeah. And
That
I also want to say,
hero is there again.
yeah. And I also want to say that when you say he couldn't, your father couldn't get through you, that is such a balm for the heart. It's amazing because then okay, she couldn't get through me, my mother, and I couldn't even get through. I couldn't get to me myself, and it feels so much love when I hear you say that because it's kind of like self-forgiving in a way that
Yes,
I was so trans, or we were so trans.
honey. Oh, that little precious, that
Yeah.
little precious honey. I love you're going back for her. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Oh, oh, and she can live in your heart the way you lived. That little 6-year-old, lived in your mother's heart. Oh, trying to save that little pumpkin's life. Oh boy. Oh, Karen, honey. Oh gosh. Um, Elena, honey, your takeaways from this beautiful work today.
Hi, Katie. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I was in two situations parallel. My father coming up behind me when I was about 12 and punching me in the head, and similar thing with my son's father from behind as well. And I just saw how, thanks to this, it's something that I've been working on with the work. That passive aggressive comment, that comment that just a second before it happened.
Yes.
And what I'm seeing is um, in that victim, it's like, especially with my son's father, so many times I could have helped him, in being not like, that passive, that kind of role of like expecting, well, I know you're going to react this way and I'm just going to, yeah. I feel so much forgiveness right now. So thank you so much. And
Oh,
I one thought was coming up at the beginning when you were doing it. I was like, Byron Katie thinks it's okay for parents to be abusive.
oh, yeah.
And I
Some
was like, oh,
people
that's a
hear
worksheet.
that and then just go away and never come back, but they don't hang in for the rest of it because this. this can really be what we do here
Mhm.
together. You can really be taken out of context. And I'm in, and those of you that hang in, I love your hanging in, because what we learn here about ourselves is so precious. And oh, honey, yeah.
I'm gonna thank you, but I'm gonna have to go because I had to make my son's dinner. And thank you.
Oh, just remember you don't have to, but you are amazing and you're going to. Mwah. That would be you. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. We are good beyond what our egos would allow us to see sometimes. We are only good. That's what the ego um, competes with, but it can't win. The ego is a state of mind. It offers up language with images in our head, and that's all fake news. But it leaves us as a parent identity. And oh, honey, thank you for being our teacher today, and your courage and your forthcomingness. It's just a pleasure to meet you. And thank you all for your contributions. Thanks to you, we are able to show up here every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I love you, community. Mwah. Thank you for something beautiful. By the way, everyone, if you enjoyed this podcast, please give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It really matters, and thank you for that. I love that you join me every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time at homewithbk.com. Let's do the work.